Good evening and welcome to the show. Well, Victorian politician Moira Deeming entered state politics last year for reasons that should be unremarkably mainstream. She spent 10 years teaching literature, philosophy, science and law at high school level before deciding to run for Parliament because she was worried that people's rights and responsibilities as citizens were getting out of balance. She is resolutely conservative, Christian and a mother of 4 children. Her election to the Victorian Legislative Council last November as a Liberal Party representative of the western suburbs of Melbourne should have been a relatively easy transition for her to make, given that she has, as I said, what used to be normal values. But that all changed on March 18. When she spoke at a rally on the steps of the Victorian Parliament alongside British women's rights campaigner Kellie-Jay Keen. They were there to voice their opposition to men claiming to be women and occupying women's spaces. Again, until recently, such ideas were mundanely mainstream. For an event that has had so many serious ramifications, little is known about what really happened at that rally. Independent cameraman and journalist Rukshan Fernando recorded the whole event, which is still up on Facebook. Looking at it now from the perspective of a person who wasn't caught up in the volatile atmosphere and theatrics of the event, you have to say it evolved in ways that look almost stage-managed. It resulted in some sensational imagery which, as we all know, benefited some politicians and thoroughly besmirched Deeming and Keen. Rukshan's video starts as Keen and her group of several dozen supporters are gathered around a makeshift podium with a microphone on the steps of Parliament. Rukshan then turns around to film the pro-trans protesters who have gathered on the other side of Spring Street. As you can see, a cordon of police, some of them on horseback, keep the two groups separate. Then another small group of about a dozen men in black show up to the right of Keen's group. They form a line across Spring Street, unfurl a banner saying "Destroy pedo freaks" and start doing Nazi salutes. You can just see them here, standing next to the banner and facing the other two groups. The police form another cordon on that side as well. So now there are 3 groups: Keen, Deeming and the pro-women supporters on the steps of Parliament, their transgender supporting opponents opposite them, and the Nazis to the right, with police keeping the peace by standing between all of them. Then things develop in an unexpected way. A large group of about 60 or more pro-trans protesters suddenly appear behind the Nazis. The Nazis turn around and start doing Sieg Heil gestures. This creates a very volatile situation. So the police, who are standing between the Nazis and Keen's supporters on the steps of Parliament, rush forward to stand between the Nazis and this new group of trans protesters. As you can see, things are pretty tense, so the police do exactly the right thing. But this leaves nothing between the Nazis and Keen's pro-women group. And when the tension dies down, the Nazis make a move that has profound consequences for people who never even knew they were there.